Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is the Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, May the 21st. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. And let's take a look at some clouds. We look out over the Birmingham Skycam, and we see a few clouds in the sky. We do have the remnants of an MCS off to the west, and we'll see a few more clouds today. Jasper, we can see some of those high clouds as we're looking off towards Birmingham, but we can see the sun beginning to peak its rays of sunlight out there over the eastern sky. And then quickly, just a nice shot as we look down from Mount Cheaha, one of the highest, or the highest place in Alabama, as we look down the spine of the Appalachians. On our surface map this morning, we're still dealing with surface high pressure, but there are weather systems close by, and we have the low pressure system out in the plain states, and that's responsible for some thunderstorms overnight that have moved across the Mississippi River, but they're moving into more stable air and are expected to dissipate with time. In the upper atmosphere, we're dealing with a very strong ridge over the southeastern U.S. and much of the eastern third of the country, with a nice closed low out over parts of, well, centered over about southwestern South Dakota. And it's the two of these are fighting it out right now, but it looks like the ridge is going to hold strong and keep the southeastern U.S. pretty dry. Because of that battleground between the two, the closed low and the ridge, we're seeing temperatures climb very warm up into south central Canada, where they're actually in the low 60s at 6 a.m. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Across central Alabama, we're actually, in some respects, cooler than some of those spots up there, but we got 63 at Anniston, 67 at Birmingham, 62 at Tuscaloosa. So it's a lot warmer than what we've seen over the last week or so. Mentioned the MCS that crossed the Mississippi River, and you can see that as it's approaching I-55 through Mississippi. Doesn't look like it's going to get here, unfortunately, because we certainly could use some rain. It's getting pretty dry, and the QPF is just not too exciting for central Alabama, as that ridge holds pretty strong. We'll talk about that when we get to the GFS here in just a minute, but definitely keeping things dry over central Alabama. Slight risk of severe all the way from eastern and northeastern Texas, all the way up through Missouri and parts, a good portion of Arkansas, parts of Oklahoma and Kansas, Nebraska, and the southwestern quadrant of Iowa. That area shifts. It stays kind of put over the Red River Valley and northeast Texas, but it shifts to the east, especially across the Ohio River Valley and back up towards Chicago on day 2. And then on day 3, we see pretty much in the same location, just a slightly smaller area. And while we're on the subject of potential weather, I'll just mention that we're only a week and a half away from hurricane season. And of course, I'm sure many of you have been seeing the projections as to how many we're going to have this upcoming season. But just to get you in the mood, there's the outlook right now. And of course, we have none. Hurricane season doesn't begin until June 1st. The 06Z GFS model run this morning, and there's the surface high over the southeastern U.S. Should keep us pretty dry today at least, and probably well into the middle of next week. The ridge in the upper atmosphere for Sunday does dampen out just a little bit as we see that strong shortwave and closed low moving out of the Rockies, and that is dampening the ridge, but the ridge still holding strong, so I think we stay dry. The ridge does dampen once again, but you can see that the westerlies are much further to the north. We do have some impulses moving through, which means we may see some showers, especially over Tennessee, perhaps as close as the Tennessee River Valley, and for us, probably just some clouds. The flow remains pretty zonal over us as we continue under weak ridging. There's, not a strong ridge like we're seeing for today, but there certainly is ridging there. And the main westerly is a little further to the north in the vicinity of the Ohio River Valley on Tuesday. By Wednesday, we're beginning to see some changes, and it looks like we will have to introduce the possibility of some showers on Wednesday and Thursday. That's Wednesday as we see the closed low coming out of the Rockies, and it's beginning to come out at a latitude that certainly could impact us, and it does come out strongly on Thursday. So it's looking like the possibility of, I don't think this is going to be a major severe weather event, but it certainly could bring us the possibility of strong to severe storms. So we'll be watching the development of that. And with the upper pattern, we also see a surface low over about Arkansas, northern Arkansas. And that, of course, putting us in a good position for the possibility of some marginally severe weather. But we'll be watching that to see how that does develop. The little closed low opens up as it moves on by, but watch what's happening behind it. We see another strong shortwave coming out of Canada. And while that doesn't do anything for us on Thursday, except provide us with a chance for some rain, for Friday, that doesn't do anything for us directly as the chances for rain diminish. Look what happens on Saturday. The two kind of phase up, and as they do, that's going to place the southeastern U.S. in a fairly strong northwesterly flow, so that by a week from tomorrow, we are in a very strong northwesterly flow, and the result for that could be, as we look at the surface map, and I know we're verging on voodoo out here, but look at the thicknesses, and it looks like perhaps as we enter or get ready to enter June in the very last few days of May, we may actually see some cooler air once again, certainly drier, and at least somewhat slightly cooler. All right, now let's get way out into voodoo, and we see the closed low stays with us actually for several days, so it'll be something that'll make the forecast a challenge as we head into the 1st of June. This is June 2nd, and then as we get to the end of the forecast period, it's June. This is June 5th, and here comes that strong ridge once again. And you can see the 588 contour all the way up to about Kansas City. So a strong high-pressure system building back in as we head into the first few days of June. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. I want to thank the folks out at the Shelby County Relay for Life for the invitation to MC their event last night at the Pelham High School Stadium. Certainly had a great time, talked to lots of folks, and enjoyed being part of that wonderful effort to help raise money to support cancer research and to support the Cancer Society. And looking forward to Doodah Day out there at Caldwell Park today and judging the parade, which starts, I think, at 11 a.m. Well, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, whatever your plans are, and have a great day. Godspeed.
Each day, there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.